It has been a huge week for Zenless Zone Zero, and one of the main reasons for that is that we finally got our hands on Qing Yi. Yes, our first limited S-rank stun character. Now, why this is such a big deal is that when these new limited characters come out, they tend to set a new bar for what their character's archetype should look like in the meta. So Qing Yi, being the first limited stun character, was gonna kind of had the potential to at least power creep all of the stun characters that we've gotten in 1.0. And if you're like me, that could be tragic news, because personally, my favorite character, at least lore-wise, is Anby Damara. I just love the way she acts, I love her personality, and I love her on my Zhu Yuan team, and that meant that if I pulled for Qing Yi, I was gonna have to replace her, right? And I was really scared that Qing Yi was just gonna be miles ahead of her. But I did end up pulling Qing Yi. I just couldn't resist it. I wanted to see how good she was gonna be, and sadly, as a result, I had to bench my Anby on my Zhu Yuan team. It was very tragic, but I had to do what I had to do. So I've been playing with Qing Yi now for a good part of the week, and today I decided to do some final trials in the last floor of Shiyu Defense to see which one is truly better and whether it's really going to make a difference on your account. Before we get into the footage of me clearing the Shiyu Defense though, I do want to show you guys what I'm running on both of them. So I ended up using the same disk drive set on both of them since they can kind of use the same thing. I do have 4-piece Shockstar Disco and 2-piece Thunder Metal, which is not ideal. Preferably I would have the energy regen set on them, but I just don't have enough disk drives yet. I'm trying to get there, guys, but it's a work in progress, right? And this really isn't the greatest set, right? I have them leveled up mostly, and I have okay main stats. I have impact on this, which is probably the most important, but I don't have crit on this, and attack, purple attack, number 5 slot here. So as you can see, not the greatest ones. I'm also not running Qingyi signature. I do have the S rank Hellfire gears though, which is Kaleda's signature, which helps a little bit with that energy regen and makes me feel better about not running whatever the energy regen set is called. So that is what I'm running on both of them. I just switched them around when I did the trials. As you can see, I also have their skills pretty much the same. Anby's are a little bit higher just because I have more cinema ranks on Anby. They're a little bit higher, but I figured that would kind of even it out since Qingyi is an S rank overall. But roughly they're the same, right? These are mostly like 8 and 7, and then mostly on Anby I have 8 and 9. So roughly the same, right? And of course, I'm so starved for materials right now that I can't even afford to like level up her core skills. So that'll even it out a little bit more. Her skills are a little bit more leveled up, but other than that, they're running the same disk drive set and the same weapon and not Qingyi sig. So it should be a pretty even matchup, right? All right, guys, let's hop into this footage here. So first I'm going to show you Qing Yi, and both of the characters, both of the footages that I'm going to show you is going to be on the same team, which is that Zhu Yuan team with Nicole. It's probably both of their best teams, right? I'm also using the Ether Bangbu. I'm not using the Police Force Bangbu, which could have impacted the results a little bit, but I wanted it to be as even as possible, right? So let's go ahead and look at Qing Yi first. So right off the bat, you're going to see the biggest advantage that Qing Yi has, and that is this big AoE grouping thing. As you can, it brings in all 3 of those. So on ad phases in Shiyu Defense, Qing Yi is huge, and that is her biggest advantage over Anby, and that has great synergy, as you can see here, with Nicole and the Ether Boo, who both pull them in. It's just like a Giga Venti ult, and everything died so fast. As you can see, I got through the ad phase in like 25 seconds or less. And now we got the boss, which I'm gonna be honest, you're gonna see some kind of like skill related problems that I had with Qing Yi. So this boss freaking sucks. I absolutely hate it because it's always teleporting around, which makes it really hard to play a melee character who has bigger combos, right? And Qing Yi's combo is not huge, but it does take a while. And you see, I'm not playing perfect, but kind of going through the same rotation, right? You just break it as fast as possible, and then hopefully get it about half down. So yeah, now you just kind of, you know, pop off with Zhu Yuan. I'm holding down the left mouse button, peak Zhu Yuan gameplay. And as you can see, I'm doing a pretty good amount of damage here. I got it down about 2/3. Now this is where my gear starts to show its cracks, I think, and that I don't have a lot of energy recharge. So this rotation did not go as smooth. You'll also see he's just teleporting around. It's so hard for me to build stun up with Qing Yi because I'm trying to do that full combo with her, but it's just not working because he's so annoying. He's so slippery. So yeah, we just keep going here. I'm slowly building it up. This is killing my time here. I'm already at 1 minute and 30 seconds. And if I could have stunned him faster, this would have looked a lot better. But as soon as I stun him, right, as soon as I can get through the full rotation, it's pretty much done. But you see here, I need more practice with Qingyi. I think on bosses she will be good, but as I said, I think the biggest difference you'll see with her is in ad phases, when she can kind of group everything together and be stunning everything all at once, so you can get off those huge chain attacks even with little guys. So there you have it. I finished that in just about, I think that final time was 8:04, so it took me about 1 minute and 55 seconds. So let's look at Anby's in comparison to that. So let's see if Anby can beat that 1 minute and 55 second time, or at least be competitive with it, right? So right off the bat, as I said, the biggest advantage that Qing Yi has is being able to group all of those guys up right away. But honestly, as you'll see here, it's like the power of Etherboo and Nicole alone already was able to group them up, and those guys were already dead, so it didn't make a huge difference. And that might make a huge difference if you're running the police force boo as well. So right off the bat, I actually killed those faster with Anby than I did Qing Yi. Now that might have been a skill thing, but you know, a little faster, so didn't make a huge difference just to have Qing Yi. Now let's look at the boss. Once again, I don't have a lot of practice with Qing Yi, whereas I've been playing this Anby team for a while now, like pretty much since I got Zhu Yuan, and so I have a little more practice. Also, Anby is just more straightforward to play. It's basically like you just kind of do your basic attacks and then hold down your heavy attack and then skill when you can. There's not as much going on. She doesn't need as much field time, so I just have a little more practice and I can do the combos a little better. But pretty much running the same, right? I'm like, it's the same goal with these stun characters, is just stun as fast as possible so you can get this full rotation off and just pop off with Zhu Yuan as much as I can. As you can see, I don't think I got quite as much health off in that first rotation. That might be due to the damage that Anby and Qing Yi are doing, because Qing Yi does do a lot more damage. But let's see if I can break him a little faster than I did with Qing Yi on the second rotation. I'm just playing so much better on this one. Obviously, I'm not the best player in the world, but I was just finding it so much easier when I wasn't too focused on pulling off the Qing Yi combos, to actually just focus on the boss mechanics. So we're running, what is it? Let's look. The timer is pretty close. I'm at 8:20 and it's broken. So if I can do this really fast, it's looking pretty good. There we go. There we go. Then I get some more bullets, and as you can see, I finish it off at 8:10. So that is actually 5 seconds faster than I did with Qing Yi. Crazy, right? So those are my results, guys. Obviously, they're not like conclusive, but I think they give you a general idea of like how impactful Qing Yi is going to be if you're already using Anby. And honestly, the answer is not that much. Do I regret pulling Qing Yi? No, because she's super fun to play and I'm excited to like keep learning her. And she is like, it requires a lot more thought, which is could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on what you prefer. But really, if you're just like trying to push the hardest content in the game, I don't think Qing Yi is going to be like a game changer for you, honestly. Now, if you only have Anby and you don't have Kaleda or Lycon, it's like you pretty much need Qing Yi, right? You need 2 stunners, at least right now, until we see what these like S-rank defense characters are going to look like. So if you only have Anby, I would definitely recommend pulling on Qing Yi, but if you're only looking to upgrade from Anby on your Zhu Yuan team, maybe consider skipping her. We got a lot of exciting characters coming out, and she should not be your top priority because, as you can see from my results of this test, she doesn't make the biggest difference. In fact, you know, obviously I'm a better Anby player than I am a Qing Yi player, but Anby did it faster than Qing Yi did. Isn't that crazy? So that was my results. Let me know what you guys think. Have you been playing Qing Yi, or have you been enjoying her? Do you think I'm just complete trash at Qing Yi and I could have cleared it 30 seconds faster? Please let me know down in the comments. I'd love to see what you guys think. I appreciate you watching the video this far. Please give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more ZZZ content. But until the next one, I'll see you later. Peace.